It's a lot going on. Half the country is in trouble, and the other half is dodging weather conditions. Well, I hate to tell everybody, but we have a storm feeder that has formed around the rim of the planet, all the way around the planet. It is a seamless storm feeder, and it's moisture mixed with a lot of heat, and it's about to feed an unreasonable amount of storms in every nation, just about in every nation. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if major flooding took place in Africa. Um, the poor folks in Peru, they're right below that storm feeder. So both halves, the northern and southern hemisphere, they're going to have some serious problems from this. Well, you have a lot of condensed moisture above the rim of the equator, right? And all this moisture, it is very chaotic region right now on the Earth, and it goes around the entire rim of the Earth. It's not been this high. Humidity is normally low around the equator, not quite like it is now, but moisture has condensed right there at the equator, feeding the northern and southern hemispheres. Lots of moisture, lots of moisture. So that mixed with the heat, we're going to have some severe problems. The poles carry the cooler air. That's going to mix in with the hotter temps and the heightened moisture. We're going to have storm feeders all over the place. So it's that it's never been like this before. There is no record of this situation ever taking place. And so we have a lot of first time records anyway this year already. But yeah, this is going to be a problem because that will feed hurricane after hurricane, typhoons, all sorts of storms. Whatever you can name, we're going to have it. In general, a lot of the heat. Now, this has been happening for a long time, but a lot of the heat, they know where the heat's coming from. They know exactly where it's coming from. The heat on the Earth and the other planets is going hand in hand with the changes in the sun. Period. And the sun has a driver too. The sun in turn drives the planets. What's making it different this time? We just, the time we just entered into is that not only is the sun, its power and its radiation start to overheat the Earth from the inside out, but we're having external influences coming from beyond the heliosphere. So not only is that starting to overwhelm the sun in different ways, but it's also touching all the planets. So Jupiter is going to change, Neptune will change, all these exterior planets are going to change. They're not going to have an answer for it. They can't come up with they need a really good lie for this one. But but I say that because now, we've been talking about these same conditions for how long? The term atmospheric compression was used by several experts. Go figure. That term is coined, right? It's even documented as coined, and a paper was cited concerning atmospheric compression. So they're trying to catch up. They're doing exactly what we thought they do, which is to when they can no longer deny these things are taking place and their excuses are running out, that they will instantly, become the experts on what's happening. And so they just suck up the media's attention doing this, redirecting them to any, cause like climate change by human activity or whatever they want to do. They can alter the narrative that way. Sheer size of some of these storms, right? There's a potential right now for a storm. Think of a storm the size of Australia, right? Uh, and then go out from there. So we will have a storm the size of the U.S., right? I know people thought that was crazy back in the past, but we've had 4 storms the size of the U.S. already. We've had them. Now, of course, they make it a point to get on major media and say, well, this is not just one big storm, it's a bunch of small storms. They do their best to break everything up. But the issue is we're having larger and larger forces take place on the Earth, and they're beginning to overwhelm what we're able to handle. Nothing is built for what we're about to have. Just as the oceans and some of the coastal cities are not built to handle some of the storm surges that are coming in, and some of the heat that's also generated from volcanism deep below the earth and the oceans. We haven't built anything to really, combat that. And so all tactics have to change. They're not going to do it quick enough. Oh, and by the way, if they stopped, right, because you're going to hear this narrative, I think it's a good point to say this. They're talking about global warming, but they're also talking about this could be the year of the tipping point. Okay, so hear me on this. If every car stopped running, if all carbon emissions stopped right now, right? If all human activity that contributes to any type of carbon emissions or any type of disruption in the atmosphere, if it stopped right now, it would rebalance itself 20 years from now. So that means you can throw away every car on the earth, every factory on the earth, everything on the earth. It would take 20 years to dissipate. That means we'd have another 5 years of extreme, terrible weather that would still escalate. We can't get out of that. And then after that, it would plateau. Then we'd hit another peak. And then at around the 15-year mark, it would decline maybe 0.001%. This, I'll make a distinction. What we have right now and what we're about to have would not be close to the vials. We're just seeing things that we never thought we'd see. I can almost guarantee when the vials pour out, because when you look at all the conditions, we haven't seen anything. If we had an average of 150-degree temperatures, that still would not be close to the vials, right? I say that because of the room and the changes that are taking place and what's about to unfold, right? So when the vials pour out, you're looking at a surface devastation that nobody has ever seen before, right? You're looking at and it said by reason of the sun, these things will be happening on the earth. So it gives us a major cause of some of the vitrification that was in the past. Not all of it was, usage of nuclear weapons, but vitrification of desert regions, so on and so forth. We're going to face conditions that humans cannot live in, period, right? If you don't have shelter, if you're not below ground at least 400 feet, you're going to die, right, during that time. So we're just now starting this upward trend, right? Think of it like a battery. Everybody has a cell phone battery. Who has a cell phone, right? Cell phone battery is optimal at 3.45 or 3.75 volts. A battery, when it's at 2.6 volts, is just beginning to charge. It is at a negative charge, right? So it's zero. It can't even power your phone. We're at that 2-volt level. We're not at the optimal level yet. In other words, we know how much room it takes to charge a battery. We know how many electrons we have to smash in there, right? Same case scenario right now. We know how much of a change must take place before we peak out, and we're not near that point yet. We're just not near that point yet. Already, we have ocean temperatures are hotter than at any other time recorded in history. Temperatures have been hotter there's been no other time. See, the media, they just love to bring on these lying experts who don't believe what they're saying when they start talking. But they're trying to calm the public. But what the public needs to know is that this trend that we're in is just beginning. We're looking at some pretty severe harshness coming about, and it's just beginning. It's not, the major things are by no means here yet. They're not here. It's just beginning. By the time it gets to a peak, we're going to have a major loss of life on this planet, a major loss.
This has been The Confidential Report. For even more stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel today. And please show your support by clicking the like button on this video. For even more stories and news you deserve to know the truth about, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching The Confidential Report.